All right, this Atlantic story is rapidly breaking through to the broader public, and even MAGA bros who are quite sycophantic are calling Trump out. Like, check out Piers Morgan. If you followed Piers Morgan over the past few years, you know that this dude loves to run defense for Trump. He said early this morning, they were war plans, and it was obviously classified material. This whole Signalgate scandal is shockingly egregious, a shockingly egregious F-up that could have had catastrophic repercussions for U.S. forces on that combat operation. President Trump should roll some heads. But I mean, what do you mean? He's the one that put these heads in this position in the first place. He's the one that shares these incompetent traits. He then said a few hours later, if you don't consider this to be classified info about imminent war plans, it may be that you're too partisan to recognize the truth when it slaps you around your tribal chops. If this had happened on Biden's watch, Republicans would have rightfully gone berserk. And he posts the team update where Pete Hegseth was sending out dates, locations, and strike patterns 31 minutes before the missiles even launched. Meaning, if this would have been intercepted, meaning the information there, it would have put American personnel, military personnel's lives at risk, which is absolutely wild. He said F-18s launch, trigger-based F-18 strike, and Piers Morgan is calling him out. Now, even Dave Portnoy, who owns something called Barstool Sports, he basically runs a sports social media brand. He's a bro. He's like as frat bro as it gets, and he voted for Donald Trump. He has run defense for Donald Trump many times in the past, but he actually just called Trump out in a rant. Now, all that I ask from you to help boost this video is to drop a like and stick around till the end, because I'm bringing in a young dude who's heading into Congress to help talk about how he'll hold these people accountable. But let's watch MAGA bro Dave Portnoy talking about this.
So the editor, Jeffrey Goldberg, comes out after. He's like, hey, morons, you guys included me on a Signal group chat with sensitive classified information discussing the Houthis attack before it happened. Pete Hegseth's immediate reaction is like, no, that never happened. We didn't leak any classified information. No classified information in there. And Jeffrey Goldberg released all the text in the Signal group chat. And guess what? It's super sensitive. It's super classified. It's surreal that these guys added Jeffrey Goldberg to this group chat. I mean, they were talking about the attack, leading up to the attack, all the way to a couple hours, when they're going to do it, the time, the weather, you name it. And
that is the main takeaway. They were talking about it until the moment it happened, and nobody thought to check the list of people. There were 19 people in the group chat, and none of these 19 people thought to have the operational instincts to check who the hell is even in this group chat. And Dave Portnoy seems to have the same takeaway that Piers Morgan had, is what I noticed. Piers Morgan said this was obviously classified material. People aren't this dumb, Pete Hegseth. You can't lie to us like this, Pete Hegseth.
And if this information somehow got out to the Houthis, and I assume in situations like this, things move at the speed of light, lots of American soldiers could have died, lives in jeopardy. So to me, a major, major, major glitch in intelligence and just a huge mistake. It looked like Michael Waltz, the national security advisor to the president, added Jeffrey Goldberg to the group chat by accident, and J.D. Vance is in it. It looks like he added him by accident. And listen, we've all texted the wrong person. We've all emailed the wrong person.
Yeah, we all have, but we're not all dealing with classified information, and we're not all following, strict operational provisions like they're supposed to be.
We've all had somebody who shouldn't be in a group chat in our lives. We are not the Secretary of Defense. Yep. We're not the National Security Advisor. We are not the Vice President of the United States. So, yeah, mistakes happen. This one can't. Here's my biggest issue with this.
Really quickly, before he says his biggest issue, I just went to go check my other screen and see what Ben Shapiro has been posting about. And he's currently live streaming, talking about Jasmine Crockett's assault against Governor Greg Abbott. And then he made a video yesterday about Jasmine Crockett saying you should punch your opponent. So I'm glad he's covering the real issues, Benny boy. Yeah.
And this is in politics in general. The reaction of like Pete Hegseth and President Trump has been to kind of poo-poo it. Be like, there was no classified information in there. Trump's like, how did Jeffrey Goldberg get in there? Like, did he hack it? Did he get in there? He didn't stay very long. The Atlantic is a horrible organization and a terrible magazine, which they are, and I hate them. And by the way, if Jeffrey Goldberg, he didn't hack it, he got added.
And by the way, you can tell this guy is right wing because he keeps implying that the Atlantic is this far left organization when that's not really true. The Atlantic is just whatever. It's like the Associated Press. AP News just reports the facts. The Atlantic is kind of like that.
But if he did hack it, that's almost more dangerous that somebody like Jeffrey Goldberg, if he can hack the most sensitive group chats, what are our enemies doing? Trump, I get being loyal to your people. I don't like firing people on innocent mistakes that they make. But this, and I've seen a lot of people be like, oh, you're mad about this, but we had a president like Biden with dementia who had the nuclear codes. Yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. That wasn't right then, and this isn't right now.
I don't really think that's a fine comparison there, but I mean, he is MAGA. It's funny because the DoD response, it's not funny. It's terrifying that the Department of Defense Rapid Response took the Atlantic article from this morning that says, here are the attack plans that Trump advisors shared on Signal, and they said they backpedaled on the whole war plans thing really fast. That's your strongest response? Pointing out that the Atlantic changed war plans to attack plans is really their strongest rebuttal. Now, I want to break some of the hypocrisy down further with somebody who's running for Congress. Check this out. All right, I am joined today by Isaiah Martin, who is running for the 18th Congressional District in Texas and happens to be a good friend of mine. How you doing today, man?
Doing good, man. Thanks for having me.
So I want to get your hot take as a young person who is on your way to Congress about the texts that were released by The Atlantic today. If elected, how would you hold officials like Pete Hegseth or Mike Waltz accountable for a breach of this magnitude?
Well, first off, I mean, this is just the most incompetent administration in history, the most incompetent White House in history, just quite frankly. So it's not really surprising that they would be this stupid and careless when it comes to our information. I think that they need to be brought out in front of both chambers of Congress for congressional committees. And I think we need to be having real conversations with these people to really lock them down on all of these things, because, I mean, what we saw was the most incompetent display of negligence we've ever seen in this country. It's quite insane.
Dude, and we need more fighters like you out there who can actually hold Republicans accountable, because I've got all of these liberal beliefs. Yeah. Sometimes it feels like the Democratic Party doesn't have the fight in it that it needs. I mean, how do you think Republicans would react if this happened during the Biden administration?
They went crazy when Obama wore a tan suit, right? So it's like they went round the clock talking all about that. Could you imagine if this happened with Obama or Biden or Kamala? Like, if any of them had been involved in this, they'd be screaming about this nonstop. And it just shows just how hypocrisy like they are. We ultimately just need more people in Congress that are just going to hold their foot to the fire and give them hell, because this is just ridiculous.
Yeah, keep your foot on their neck metaphorically. Mark Levin, for example, from Fox News just said, I don't give a shit what the media and the Democrats say. The Democrat media and Democrats are desperately trying to create a scandal with this Atlantic text story. There is no scandal. There was no threat to our armed forces. I just want to say, can you break down for people watching what the threat is when 30 minutes before a strike, our Secretary of Defense is texting stuff in a group chat that isn't verified?
Right. And not only that, I mean, Signal is something that can be hacked. And it was even reported and admitted to that some of the members inside of this group chat were overseas. I believe one of them was even in Russia at the time when this happened. So, I mean, you're in a completely unsecured environment in a foreign country that's a hostile enemy of the United States of America. I mean, it's just very clear that these guys are doing everything they can to just show their incompetence. So we have to make sure that they're brought out in front of these committees so we can really understand what's going on.
And let's check out this clip that just aired on Fox News. All of the MAGA Fox News viewers were forced to watch the Lieutenant General get grilled on this very security leak.
Also, strike drones launch MQ-9s. MQ-9s is a weapon system, correct?
They are.
Okay. I think applying the executive order as well as the DoD manual to this fact pattern, we clearly have weapon systems that have been identified. That is classified information. Now, the reason why it's important that this information not be disclosed is that we don't want the adversaries to know what's about to happen, right, sir?
Well, I would draw a small distinction there. You referenced and asked if that platform, those two platforms, are weapon systems. They are, but those terms are used all across the globe in a lot of contexts.
He dodged the question entirely, but dude, explain to me why our adversaries probably shouldn't know about these strikes.
I mean, I feel like that goes without saying, right? Like these guys, I mean, they're just so incompetent. And it's like every single day, they try to go full speed ahead and try to act like this never happened. And it's just mind boggling. I mean, for one of our adversaries to be able to know the timing of these attacks, they can completely be there to ambush our people, to be ready to, completely change the entire environment in which precision and the speed of these things are very important. So, I mean, it's just absurd that they're going about this, acting like this is nothing. If this was any other administration, if this was a Democrat in office, these guys would be screaming about this all day. It's very important that we don't let them gaslight us and just move by like this never happened.
Yep, and I've got a few asks. I want to ask everybody watching this, if you're from Texas or if you live near Texas, let me know in the comment section below. I'm also going to drop a link to Isaiah's website and his socials. Make sure you click all of those to hear his platform. And Isaiah, my ask to you is tell the audience how you'll fight for them in Congress. Tell the people who have been kind of disappointed by the Democratic Party's lack of punch, how you'll bring that punch.
Well, first off, we need more people in Congress that will fight fire with fire. We need more people in office that are going to fight for you instead of the few. We need more people in office that when they see the crazy fire that Trump spits their way, we have to have somebody that can be unapologetic, that can have some audacity to stand up against these people and will not cave to the weak demands that they see. We saw it with the CR a couple of weeks ago, in which we saw massive defunding for the things inside of our neighborhoods and our districts, things like storm recovery, things like Medicare, Medicaid. We cannot allow that type of thing to happen. And in Congress, I'm going to be somebody that's going to be unapologetic, fighting for those issues. So if you want to join the things that we're doing, join our movement, go to isaiahmartin.org. If you want to chip into the campaign, because this is ultimately a movement in which we are showing in the most important election that we have right now, what type of Democratic Party we want to build. And if you want a Democratic Party that fights harder, that fights back, go to isaiahmartin.org, chip in what you can, $1, $5, $10, $100, whatever you can. It absolutely would mean a lot.
The top link in the description, go check it out to support Isaiah, to support young fighters heading to Congress. Thank you guys all for watching. Thank you, Isaiah.
Absolutely.
Have a great day, man. Have a great day, everyone.